just a couple months back, Greencastle, we'd finished going through the Minor Prophets. And I'm going to share some things with you. One that spoke with me the most was Habakkuk. At the beginning of the book, Habakkuk is watching violence and lawlessness and plundering and strife and contentions and injustice all around him. And he's watching innocent people suffer at the hands of the wicked. That's just not right. He can't put up with it. And he asks God, he says, "How long, O Lord, will I cry out to you and you not hear me?" He's basically asking God, what are you going to do about all the wickedness? And maybe that's you. You look around the world and you see violence, you see plundering, you see injustice, and you just wonder what God's going to do about it. And so Habakkuk is basically asking God, why aren't you doing anything? But God's answer to him in verse 6 is, I am working. You just can't see it. I'm raising up the Chaldeans to power so that they can come and punish my rebellious children. And Habakkuk is floored. How can you use such wicked people to accomplish your will, oh God, when you're a holy God? And God's answer to that question, it can be summed up in chapter 2, verse 4, by the just shall live by faith. God doesn't lay out every way that he works or everything that he does. We just have to trust him in some things. And so when we get to Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 2, Habakkuk's figured out that there's nothing he can do to prevent this from happening. So he begs God, he says, in your wrath, have mercy. We all need mercy. By the time we get to the end of the book, Habakkuk knows that the troops are coming. He knows the Chaldeans are on their way. He's basically hearing them. And look how Habakkuk is feeling in that moment. He says, when I heard, my body trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. Rottenness entered my bones, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. And when he comes upon the people, he will invade them with his troops. Habakkuk is shaking and quivering because he knows they're on their way. But notice the song that Habakkuk sings to God. He says, though the fig tree may not blossom, nor the fruit be on the vines, though the labor of the olive may fail, though the fields yield no fruit, though the flock may be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls. He says troubling and horrible times are coming. But notice, how is Habakkuk going to respond? Verse 18, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the God of my salvation. The Lord God is my strength. He will make my feet like deer's feet, and he will make me walk on high heels. Habakkuk says very troubling things are going to happen, and it's going to be really terrible. There's going to be no food, no flock. There's going to be nothing to eat. There's going to be nothing to drink. But I will live by faith. I will trust God. And may that be our trust and our faith as well. 2020 has come with its own set of challenges, but may we not lose sight of our rejoicing and our trusting in God. It's okay to question God. Righteous men in the Bible question God. David did, Job did, Habakkuk did, and a number of others did. It's okay to be open and honest with God and to express your frustrations, to express your concerns, your heartache, your struggles. It's okay to do that with God, as long as we don't lose sight of the fact that God has not abdicated his throne. And we may not understand how God is working, what God is doing, but like Habakkuk, we just need to learn to grow in our trust and our faith towards God. We need to be a people who live by faith.